Okay, so I just wanted to come onto this platform because I wanted to talk to you about something. So, I just woke up and like I had the longest nap of my life. Yes, I'm not trying to exaggerate or if you know what I mean. I just wanted to come on here because then I always say, what's the point of going through an experience or going through something or going through something if whatever something you went through isn't going to help anyone? Or what is the point of having power if your power cannot change? If you don't use it to change to make an impact in other people's lives? That is what I mean by um, what's the point? What then is the point? Yeah. So this is what I came up with. I've been going through something. When I mean something, I mean I don't know if anyone has gone through something like this, but I'm at a point in my life where I'm at a point in my life where it seems like everything and everyone around me is going. Somebody once said to me when I was a little girl that she was going to cast a spell on me so that when I get to people or go around people, they reject me or something like that. And I was like, who are you? You're not God. You can't do that. Like, you don't have that much power to make something like that happen to me. And that was that. That lady even passed away. So it's fine. Anyways, my point is, I'm at that point in my life right now. And I'm one of those people who are like self critique, self aware. So I don't wait for people to tell me there's something wrong that I'm doing. I'm always, or I take whatever is happening in the circumstances that are around me to make some self introspection, if you get what I'm saying, something like that. So um, I wondered what is going on. I was at my brother's funeral this weekend. Not my brother, the wife has passed away, so I was at that funeral and they were talking. And I remember being in that position, not with my husband, but with my mom. It didn't matter what people said. Actually, I was more concerned about the people who lost my mom as a friend, as a companion, as a a partner or whatever in life, because I knew that they'd lost something precious. Because I hold my mom dear to that point, so I know the impact that a person can have on other people's lives, especially considering that most of the times we the closest people take people for granted, that people appreciate them, like strangers appreciate you more than your own family does. So I understood that a lot of people had lost a lot in losing my mom. So i i I was more concerned about them and I was feeling sorry about them, so I had no time for myself to grieve. So that is my point right now. But what I'm going to and where I'm going with this is that I don't want to be one of those people who dies and I didn't pray. Ka Sesotho ba re, "He o tla shwa o sa rapela." There's no such thing. I did pray, guys. Don't get me wrong. I pray all the time. My point is, I don't want to die, and I've experienced this, and I don't share it with somebody else who's going through the same thing or might go through the same thing, and I wasn't even there to let them know that something like this could happen, and it is very possible. Like you could not get along with your siblings. You could not get along with anyone in your family, and it feels like hatred. You feel like you're being hated, and sometimes you wonder what is wrong, or what did you do wrong, or what is going on, and stuff like that. But my point is, it's not about feeling sorry. My sister said I was making myself a victim. There's nothing wrong with feeling down if you are down. There's nothing wrong with um, being down. How do you know when you've risen, or when you've beaten something, if you don't allow yourself to feel, if you don't allow yourself to grieve, if you don't allow yourself to fall down and break down if you need to break down? I prefer to break down, so when I do pick up myself again and rise, I know that at least I've conquered, because I knew I was down. And there's a difference when I'm up. You feel positive, you feel, because you went through all of those emotions. So you know what it means to have conquered whatever it is that you were dealing with. So that is what I wanted to bring forward here. Why is it people, or why do people feel that they've got the right to not allow people to break down? It is not a sign of weakness. It's not. It is actually, it's not. It is actually, I wanted to start this. So I tried to be presentable. So you don't look at me right now and think you should be going through the most. You look like the most. So it's not like that. I just wanted to say to people here, one day in your life, I don't know if you've gone through it or you will go through it, but I don't want to shit upon anyone. You are going to go through something where you're going to need people to support you. You're going to need people to understand where you're coming through, or understand what is happening with you, but they're going to fail to do that. I don't know why. I promise you, I don't know why, because I'm one of those people who's always there for everyone, but I'm not as lucky to have people there for me. I remember I was telling a friend yesterday that I am sometimes afraid to reach out to people, especially about my emotions, because sometimes they think you are hinting that they should help you, maybe financially or something like that, when sometimes you just need a listening ear, so that someone can understand what you're going through. So you have someone to talk to. You at least had a place where to offload. Do you understand what I'm saying? So I started to I'm not going to do that. So this is the point of what I'm trying to get to right now, is that I was in my room. I woke up in the morning, I fixed the kids to go to school, and then I took a nap. And that nap felt like I had slept for a lifetime. And when I woke up, I could hear that my sisters were in the at home when they were not. And then it was the longest nap of my life. And I was like, I didn't take medication. Am I that exhausted? Am I that drained emotionally? Or am I that drained? Like, I was like, wow, that is messed up. It felt like I had a blackout. I was like, wow, why did this happen? So this is what I'm trying to make you aware of, that sometimes in life, people fail to understand other people. And I wish and I pray that I don't ever let anyone I know go through something like this. It is okay to break down. It is not a sign of weakness. It is okay to break down. It is okay to feel down. It is okay to feel all of those emotions. Even if you are feeling defeated, it's okay to feel that way. I pray and I hope that you will have people who are going to tell you that you are not defeated. Just go through all of those emotions, so when you do rise up and pick yourself up again, you know that you've conquered something. Because it is bad that people make people ashamed for not being at their best, at their strongest, especially if you're that person where everybody's concerned. You are strong, you are always there, you are also always on top of things. Sometimes things fall apart. Sometimes, like, things fall apart. Sometimes you fall apart, and it's okay. That is what I'm trying to say. That it's okay to fall apart. It is okay. And I'm not going to be ashamed of it. By the way, it is happening with me. So I'm not just here saying things. It is happening with me. And I am going to fall apart. I am going to feel weak when I need to feel weak. And I will rise. I will rise. And when I do, I will know that I have risen and I've conquered. And by the way, the funny thing is, I have been in this dark hole for the longest time. It's been a while now that I've been here. And recently I started to feel like things are looking up. I started to get out of my mind. I started to get out of my laziness, my comfort zone or cocoon, so to say, and say, why don't you look for a job? Why don't you go to school? And by the time I thought, why don't you go to school? It was a bit too late for me to, what do you call this? For me to apply at any school at that time. So this is what I decided to do. I applied for the NSFAS. So in the next semester, I will be then applying for that semester. I'm just getting the ball started, the ball started, like rolling the ball, because there's no point in planning. And that's the thing about me, or that's the thing about a lot of people. You plan things, you say you're going to do things, and you never do them. So the whole thing should just be tossed aside and just get on it, do it. Yes, have a plan. I'm not saying don't have a plan. Have a plan, but get on it. Do it. Because if you keep on saying, I'm going to do it, I'm going to do it, I'm going to do it, tomorrow, next week, whatever, you're never going to do it. So just do it. So I'm at a positive place in my life, but the more I feel like I'm in a more positive and a more positive mindset, it is when I'm being dragged down the most, especially if I run into a hiccup. It is the more I'm being dragged down, like I'm being pulled down. I'm not going to allow it to get the better of me. That is what I'm trying to say in coming to this platform. I'm not going to let it get the better of me. What I am going to do is I'm going to keep up the spirit that I am realizing in myself. So, heads up to everyone who's listening here. If someone is going through what I'm going through in your life right now, someone is a mess, someone is drowning, someone is barely surviving, someone is like trying, like giving their all to stay above water, to literally stay above water, don't let them feel shame, or don't let them feel or seem weak because things are not going the way that they are going. At least try and be there for them and support them, even if supporting them is a bit tiring. Sometimes you don't even have to do anything. Just don't be mean. Don't be mean. That's what I'm trying to say. Just support them, be there for them, because it is okay to feel weak. It is okay to feel tired. It is okay to feel lazy. Everything under the sun. I've seen people go through the most. I've seen people feel ill and I've supported them. I've seen people get hooked up on drugs and was there for them. I've seen people get hooked up on having no direction at all, but I was still there for them. That's the most important thing. Be there for someone, especially when they don't know what they are doing in their lives, especially if they don't know why, what they are doing. It looks like their life doesn't have direction or it isn't going anywhere, because that is when they need you the most. So, please don't. This is how people commit suicide. I'm not gonna commit suicide. Calm down. This is how and this is why people commit suicide, because they are not allowed to feel what they need to feel. They are made to feel ashamed of shame for feeling the way they are or going through what they're going through, which most of the time is a moment of weakness, a moment of laziness, a moment of they are not strong, a moment of having nothing. Like right now, I have nothing. And I don't mind because I know I've had things, and like this is just a phase and it will pass. All I ask, please, I I I I plead with you, even if it's not someone you know, someone close to you or whatever. But if you see or notice you find yourself having come across someone who's going through that, just be there for them. Tell them it is okay for them to go through whatever it is that they're going through. Don't make them feel ashamed of feeling those emotions. That's all I'm saying. And I hope this helps someone. I'm telling you, before I go, sometimes it's going to be your siblings, sometimes it's going to be your parents, and sometimes it's going to be your pastor, sometimes it's going to be your church people. They are going to judge you They are going to make you feel like you've got no support at all, and it will be truth. They won't be there to support you. But one thing I've learned, my dad once said to me, if your house is at a desert and a hurricane or a storm comes along, rest assured everybody has a solid foundation, one way or the other. You've got a solid foundation. You can't take your house and carry it out of the desert and put it somewhere else just to avoid the hurricane or the storm. No, that is stupid. It doesn't help and it doesn't work that way. Just close all the windows. Close every single part where you see that the sand could come in or whatever could happen. Find a corner and sit there and let it wait it out. Let it pass. And it will. It doesn't last forever. Everybody has seen Hurricane Katrina, Hurricane Tsunami, whatever. They were there. They didn't last forever. It happens. Whatever you're going through is gonna pass. Just sit tight. Do not give up. Just sit tight, let it pass, and just find some piece of strength in you to handle the next day that is coming. Handle whatever that's coming and take it as it comes. I'm not saying it's going to be easy. I know I ran myself mad in my room for days where I was feeling things. I was feeling migraines. I was feeling tired. I was feeling drained. I couldn't even drink water. I think I even at some point lost some taste in my mouth. I couldn't even taste water, because if you can't taste things, then it means you can't even drink water, you can't eat. So what I did is I did not care that I didn't taste food. I did not care that I couldn't taste the water. I still drank water just to keep myself hydrated. I still ate some food just to keep myself and my energy up, my energy levels up. Just don't give up. Keep at it. Take it one day at a time. Fight to survive that day. Fight to survive the next day that comes. Couple, let me not talk about it because tomorrow is not guaranteed. Fight to survive today. And once you survive it, give yourself a heads up for that. Give yourself a heads up for that. You've conquered something. You conquered today when it looked like it was impossible to conquer it. Don't live your life. It's not easy. I know. I'm in it. Don't live your life with the acknowledgement or certification of other people or verification of other people if you are in the right place or not in your life. We live in times right now where people are messed up, where everything is messed up. There are no jobs, the food prices are up, everything is just spinning out of control for a lot of people. I know most of my friends who I thought were okay are not okay financially, are not okay emotionally, are not okay anyhow. And I'm glad that I could be there for my friend, that specific friend on that day, and that she was able to tell me that it is because I fell apart in front of her that made it okay for her to fall apart in front of me. So I am glad, even if I can't be there for her every day, at least I was there for that time, and she was able to offload, and I listened. Even if I couldn't do anything about her problems, I listened. I immediately after she told me, I imagined and I thought about how could I help this person. Obviously I couldn't. Obviously I can't. But listening is more than enough. Listening is all that matters. So guys, please stop needing time for people who need you. Stop not being there. Because let me tell you something. If there's something I detest the most, it's people who are not there for people, who are never there for people. And then when those people die, because sometimes it happens, one day you wake up, you were with this person yesterday. All they did not get into an accident. They did not get mugged. They did not, whatever, they just went to sleep and that was it. They are gone. When should that happen to you, you'll feel the most excruciating pain in your life. And you can't then come and perform and cry and say, oh my god, I cannot believe this person was actually going through the most. I mean, I know he or she was going through the most, but I didn't know it was this bad. It is that bad. Wake up. It is that bad. Be there for them. So when they do go, you don't feel guilty that you are not there for them. Am I making sense? Did my message get through? I hope it did. And I hope it helped someone. Do not need the time to be there for the people who need you. Not financially, not whatever. Because if you don't have the finances, you don't. Just be there to listen and support. That's it. Thank you very much for your time and for listening. Okay.